All right, we're about to dive into a world that's all around us and even inside us, but is completely invisible to the naked eye. We're going on an expedition to map the very building blocks of life. So let's get into it. This is your guide to the protein data bank.
So let's start with a really big question. How in the world do you draw a map for something you can't see, a world that's literally billions of times smaller than anything our eyes can perceive? That is the incredible, mind-bending challenge scientists were up against, and it's the very question we're going to unpack today.
But before we can get to the map, we've got to understand the territory, and that all starts with something we can call the invisible shape problem.
Okay, so here's the absolute most important thing you need to get. For a protein, shape is everything. It isn't just a minor detail. Its three-dimensional form dictates its exact job. Think of it like a key. If you bend just one of the teeth, it's not going to open the lock anymore, right? It's exactly the same with proteins. You change the shape, you completely change or even break its function.
And look, this isn't just some abstract science concept. These shapes are the literal blueprints for how your body fights off a virus, how you get energy from your lunch, pretty much everything. They are absolutely essential. The only problem? They are just unimaginably tiny. For decades, figuring out what they actually looked like was one of the biggest puzzles in all of biology. So how did we finally solve that puzzle? Well, it turns out the answer wasn't just to find one blueprint. Scientists decided to build an entire library to house all of them. And that brings us to the star of our show today, the Protein Data Bank, or PDB for short. It's the one, the only, the single official worldwide archive for every piece of 3D structural data scientists have ever collected on proteins and other big biological molecules. It is the ultimate source of truth.
You know, a really good way to think about it is like the world's biggest public library. It's open 24/7, totally free to anyone with an internet connection. But instead of downloading an ebook, you're downloading the precise atom-by-atom blueprint for a molecule that could be the key to the next big medical breakthrough.
Okay, so we've got this incredible library. But wait a second, how do you actually write the books? How do you describe a super complex, three-dimensional shape in a way that a computer can read and understand? Well, for that, you need a common language.
This is where computer science smashes right into biology. You can't just take a photo of a protein and call it a day. You need a system, a standardized file format that can precisely describe the position of every single atom in 3D space. You're basically creating a language for molecules. And just like any language, it had to evolve. The original PDB format, it was brilliant for its time, but it was really rigid, kind of clunky. As you can see, it really struggled when scientists started solving these gigantic, complex molecules. That's why the modern MMCIF format was created. It's flexible, it's easy to expand, and it's built to handle the crazy complexity of modern science. It's the future-proof language biology was waiting for.
So we have the library, and we have the language. But let's be honest, a long string of code isn't very intuitive to look at. The real magic happens when we turn that language back into a picture we can actually see. This is how we get from code to creation.
And you know what? It's a surprisingly simple process. First, a researcher finds the molecule they're interested in and just downloads its data file from the PDB. Second, they open up that file using some special visualization software. And third, bam! The software instantly translates all that code into a fully interactive 3D model right there on their computer screen. Now, if you were to actually open one of these data files in a basic text editor, this is pretty much what you'd see. It kind of looks like a wall of gibberish, right? Just endless lines of text and numbers. But every single one of those lines is a precise instruction, telling the computer exactly where a specific atom is located in three-dimensional space. This is the raw blueprint. And this is the transformation. That dry, boring-looking text file gets fed into the software, and it renders this, a beautiful, elegant, and scientifically critical 3D structure. Scientists can zoom in, they can spin it around, they can explore all the little nooks and crannies that determine how it works. The code becomes a real, tangible object that they can study.
So, we've gone from an invisible problem to a digital library to a beautiful 3D model on a screen. But what's the point? Why does any of this really matter in the real world?
This is the big payoff. For starters, drug discovery. Scientists can literally design a new medicine that fits perfectly into the keyhole of a protein that's causing a disease. They can see exactly how one tiny mutation in our DNA can warp a protein's shape and lead to illness. Beyond medicine, they can engineer brand new enzymes for things like biofuels. And maybe most importantly, it helps us answer the most fundamental questions about how life, works. You see, the protein data bank isn't some static museum. It's a living, breathing library with new discoveries, new books being added every single day. And with new technologies predicting these structures faster than ever, it leaves us with one heck of a final question to think about. What incredible medical mysteries will the very next protein map unlock?